everyone to the Gen X Glam and Gab channel here on YouTube. It is great to see everyone, whether you're new, whether you're coming back. Thank you so much for tuning in. Which way does this thing go? This is my lip perfector from Clarence. I'm going to get a little bit of something on my lip. But again, if you're new, welcome. If you're coming back, thanks for coming back. I appreciate everyone that tunes in. I do a little bit of glam. I do a little bit of gab. I broadcast from my basement. I affectionately refer to myself as mom in her basement, always on the go, always on the clock. And today is no exception. I got a lot going on. For those of you who are tracking my channel, you know I am in the middle of prepping for an international move. I'm going to do a whole behind the scenes move, pack with me, declutter series of videos that I'm going to drop in July and August so that there's some stuff for us to watch over the summer when I'm on vacation and at the lake and in the middle of the woods and have a little bit less, like literally bandwidth to hang out with everyone. All right, so I've been really excited to do this video because I got my Ipsy box. That's not really big news. The big news for me is I feel like this is the best Ipsy box ever. Ipsy this month came, and I thought I had like canceled the subscription, right? I thought that I had put myself on vacation mode, but I didn't. And I'm so glad that I didn't, because the ELF new Halo Glow Tint SPF 50 was a choice. I picked it. Was a choice in this Ipsy Glam box. There are, if you're unfamiliar with the Ipsy subscription service, you can get a glam bag for 15 bucks a month. You can get the glam box. I think that's in like the $30 range. And then every quarter you can upgrade to the icon box. Now the glam box, which is what I got, which we're going to talk about today, has 5 full-size products. The icon box, I want to say, has 8 full-size products. And the little glam bag has like 5 deluxe size products. I got to pick 3 of my products in the glam box that came this month. This was one of the products that I picked. We're looking at it. It is the SPF50 Mineral, SPF50 Mineral Sunscreen Tint. They sent me the shade a light cool. We're going to pair it up. We're going to do a halvesy because this is what I love to do. I love to do halvesies, and I love to do halvesies on my face when I'm looking at an ELF product and when I'm looking at a NYX product. This is the NYX Buttermelt Glaze Skin Tint SPF 30. It is not a mineral sunscreen. It falls in the chemical sunscreen category. And I think I've done a video specifically talking about the difference between the mineral and the chemical sunscreens. And it all boils down to the ingredients. So I'm going to try and find that video and link it in this video. I'm also going to link the current giveaway video. You need to be subscribed to the channel, make a comment in that giveaway video, and have a USA or Canada mailing address. So we're going to talk about these 2 things. I'm just letting my magic cream from Charlotte Tilbury soak into my skin a little bit. While we do that, I use my Tier. It was a wash and dry the hair day. When it's a wash and dry the hair day, I layer the skincare, I dry the hair, I layer the skincare, dry the hair, blah, blah, blah. Usually I come on to like, oh, I've already done my color correction. But today is kind of exciting because I'm busting into my new pot concealer from NARS, which is one of my favorite concealers. I use the shade Vanilla. It's so, here's the box. It's just so exciting to bust into a restock Holy Grail product. This is what's left of my other one, and it's going in the garbage because I feel like I've dipped my brush and fingers into this so many times. It doesn't, like, I don't want to scrape out what's on here because there's probably, we're at the bottom of the bin. There's probably the most bacteria in that. So let's go ahead and put a little bit of the NARS Vanilla concealer just in these areas that I like to brighten a little bit and conceal. And we're going to let it sit before we go ahead and do our halvesies with the NYX and the ELF SPF tints. And I have done a tiny bit of research, like I like to do when I do like a comparison, so that we know what's the difference. What's the difference? They're claiming to do similar things, but yet they are different products. They're from different brands. And so let's let that sit and let's talk about it. First of all, I want to go off with the packaging. NYX tends to have these like carefree, whimsical, funky fonts, neon coloring in their packaging, and ELF tends to come up with like the sleek, classic looking packaging, which I mean, when I look at it aesthetically, like I like this kind of packaging over like the more colorful ones, but that's just me, call me boring. It's not just with this particular product. Let's take a look. Let's rewind. Let's go in the time machine and take a look at these like lip balmish pens that NYX and ELF dropped around this time last year. This is the NYX one. As you can see, we've got that colorful font, the neon stuff, just like flaring out at you. And then you've got with ELF, you just have this sleek black and white packaging. So first off, I just want to note that packaging is completely different, but still in line with how each brand tends to drop their products and what they look like. Both of these are 30 milliliters in products. You get 30 milliliters. This is the first time that I've been tracking that I feel like ELF's price point is above a NYX price point. This one, you're going to get the 30 milliliters SPF 50 for, and again, mineral, they're claiming mineral, sunscreen for $18. And NYX is selling theirs for $16. Same amount of product, but slightly different price points. Shade range is also different. You've got 10 shades with the NYX Buttermilk Glaze tint, and you've got 18 shades with the ELF. And I like the way that ELF does it because they've taken the light, they've taken the medium, and they've taken their deep shade lines, and they've made 6 shades in each, which I find is just like, you're gonna find something in all of those that's gonna work for you. Again, I didn't get to pick the color. They sent me 16 light cool, and on the side of the packaging here, in the light family, it looks like shade 4 light neutral. I tend to go for neutrals. If I would have picked this, I probably would have picked the light 4 neutral shade, just again, because I tend to go with the neutrals, but I'm not a guru. But I have found over time that neutrals fit my skin tone a little bit better in terms of shade match than like a cool or a warm. Now, this is the first impression for me. I'm just busting into this. So let's just blend this in a little bit. It's going to blend some more when we put on the sunscreen. What else did I get in Ipsy? I'm going to tell you what else I got in Ipsy. I feel like this is like my best Ipsy box ever. We're going to do the 3 products that I picked first, and then I'll show you the 2 products that Ipsy picked for me based on like my profile. That's what they do. You sign up for the whole kit and caboodle, and you do a profile, and then they draw from that profile when they pick products for you. But look at this awesome face palette that I picked. I think this is going to be perfect for summer. I've been looking at my face palettes like to pack for summer vacation, and you know, all of them are a little bit May. You know, I had settled on just bringing kind of this one with me. It's my Essence. I have like an Essence duo in like a deeper and a lighter contouring shade, and I also have my Wet n Wild, which is circular, but also has basically these 2 tones. Look at these are my favorite right here, these tones. And this pink is just a muted soft pink, which I love. I'm not as big of a fan as like the bright pinks, but I feel like this is my favorite powder palette, and this is from Guerlain in their Soft Pink 02, and I feel like that is really close to what was sent to me here. And the brand, let's see, it's called Girl Actic. I don't know, I can't pronounce it. There it is. I've already got my fingerprints all over it. And the other product that I picked was this like SPF 30 setting spray from Morphe. This is Morphe. This is what they picked for me, which I love because I love brushes. I got these 2 pretty in pink brushes. One is an all over fluffy face brush, which they say you can use with setting powder, and we're going to try that today because they also picked setting powder for me. There's a pink theme going on in case you haven't noticed. And then this is like a blush contour type brush here. So that's what we got. And then the other thing that Ipsy picked for me, and I'm going to show you the box first because I've already taken it out of the box. I've already got some loose setting powder, which I never use, on deck to use in case we have time. This is from Star Bright. It's called Half Caked. Came in this pink box. It is a light pink setting powder. I've already knocked some of it out into the cap because I feel like that's just what people do. That's what I see people do. They knock it off into their cap. But you know, if you have like a fancy like makeup tray, which is what we had when I went to beauty school, on my brief stint in beauty school, my 21-hour immersion course, we used a lot of loose setting spray because I think the professionals use loose setting spray because it's really hygienic. You just knock what you need on your tray and you go. You're not like double dipping a sponge or a brush or something into your base product and then using it on multiple people. That double dipping is no bueno. It's no bueno when you're talking about sharing a dip at a party and when we're talking about doing other people's makeup. All right, so we've covered Ipsy. I feel like we've let that set. I'm not doing a ton of color correcting because I'm hoping that these sunscreen tints give me a bit of a base that we can go over. We can try the new setting powder. We can try the new face palette. I'll do something with my lips. I pulled out a few things to do with my lips. And then we're going to get on the way because this is Mom on the go. Mom on the go and I'm on the go. All right, so how are we gonna apply these? We're gonna do halvesies. I pulled out a couple of like wedge sponges, and then I have a brand new like new beauty blender that I can maybe do some all over blending with when we're done. Let's start with the ELF. Let's start with the ELF. You're supposed to give these things a really good shake. Both of these products in the how do you use them say give them a really good shake. So let's give it a really good shake and go in and just start. Let's get crazy. Let's do our halvesies. That's probably entirely too much, but we're going with it. Let's start down here at the jawline because they say that's the best place right down there to figure out if you've got a good shade match or not. And that is blending really well into my magic cream, first of all, and all my skincare. And it looks like it's a decent shade match. Again, I would not have picked a cool. I would have picked the neutral, but maybe I'm learning something here because this is looking fine. The shade that we're going to use in the Buttermelt Glaze from NYX is shade 02 Vanilla. Another thing that's a little bit different about the two is that the NYX product has niacinamide in it, it has shea butter, and it has mango butter. So it's got some skin-loving ingredients that ELF is not saying that they're necessarily providing. Like I looked at the ingredient list on ELF's website, and I pretty much couldn't pronounce any of it. Oh, and you know what? When this thing dropped, I really wanted to buy it, but by the time I saw the notification on my phone that ELF dropped something new and they dropped a skin tint, like we've seen Woa Glowa before. This is completely different from Woa Glowa. This does not give you, it says on the website, on the ELF website, this is not going to give you the white cast, where I feel like the Woa Glowa, you can smell the SPF ingredients in it, and the Woa Glowa is also chemical. It's not touted to be a mineral sunscreen. And I do feel like you really have to blend it out. Otherwise you do see a little residue of the white cast. So, okay. So ELF, you're right. We're not seeing any white cast going on here. It's just super light coverage. I can see myself using this summer. SPF 50. That's huge. I don't know if that's why the price point comes in a little bit higher for ELF, because they put a little bit more something into it. It says too, this is the ELF, right on the packaging says 80 minutes of, I was almost said hours. Talk about that. 80 minutes waterproof resistance. And I plan on being in the water. I plan on sweating this summer. This might, I don't know. This was my go-to last summer. This is the Broad Spectrum SPF 50 Sunscreen Flawless Poreless Primer from Charlotte Tilbury. Has a little bit of a tint to it, and that was my go-to last summer. I would put on the magic cream, I would put on some of that, and I would powder down, and I would be good to go. But this is like, this is in the $40-some price range, and ELF's clocking in at 18, which is a lot for an ELF product, but I feel like it's totally worth it. And I do prefer this over the Woa Glowa, because the Woa Glowa isn't giving you 50 SPF 50 coverage. All right, that's all we're gonna do. I think that's a nice little coverage. And then left on my sponge. All right, let's go in. Let's go in with the NYX Buttermelt Glaze. And it's pretty much off my hand. Do we really need to go in and be super thorough? All right, fine. We'll give it a little bit of a wipe so we don't have too much cross-product contamination going on. Wait a minute. I've been shaking these while I've been doing my skincare and drying my hair, but let's just give it one more shake, because I mean, there is something to be said about a lot of these products. Like when the website or the instructions that you're reading on the back of the box tell you to shake a product well, definitely shake it, because I have found in the past that that's for real. I mean, I guess we should always follow the directions, right? We learned that in kindergarten. All right, let's see. Well, how are we doing? Has a slight, this one smells a bit more like, you know, that smell that sunscreen gives you when you put it on. Definitely has a smell to it, but again, we've got the mango in there. We've got the mango and the shea butter in there. I'm going in for a little bit more. I don't know. They're actually on my hand. When I look at them on my hand, ooh, there's some color correcting that did not get blended out. It's all going in the blender now. I'm actually digging the ELF a little bit better than I'm digging the NYX Butter Melt Glaze tint. And again, NYX is sitting here at SPF 30. Come on, for a couple more bucks. Aren't you like naturally inclined? And look at this, covered up my redness a lot better. Look at, we're still seeing redness on this side. So it's, you know, ELF's giving me light coverage, but it's giving me coverage. I don't know. I'm going to go in. Let's be brave. Let's put it directly on the skin right in there. And I'm going to do a little bit more dab and pat, so it's not picking up as much on the sponge. You know, this is something in beauty school, speaking back to beauty school, you know, that teacher was very, I mean, one of the points that she tried to drive home was, you know, when you're doing your color correcting, when you're doing, you know, when you're making your base, it really is kind of like a pat and go type of product, because process, because if you're, let's go down on my chin, because if you're like dragging, you know, and pushing really hard, chances are you're going to pick up a little bit more on your blender. So let's, you know, stick with the pat and move. Blending, you could blend your life away. Blending is, you know, it is, from what I found on my midlife makeup crisis journey, the more time that you can spend blending out your products and building them, the better the result's going to be. I don't know, the NYX side is not winning for me. Like, you know, I have the amateur rig here, so it's not, you know, I don't know what, if you're seeing, you're definitely not seeing as well as I'm seeing when I lean into my mirror, lean into my phone camera. The NYX is coming in a little bit patchy. Like, I'm feeling like I gotta go in with my hands. I'm gonna go in with my hands and try to tap in, and I'm trying to build and get covered, but I'm having to work so much harder than I had to work on the ELF side. And I don't want to spend too much more time, because I do want to see how the loose setting powder does on a tint. I feel like we're gonna do it, because I've already knocked it out into the cap, so we're going for it. We committed. But I feel like setting powder is probably, loose setting powder probably serves you better if you've got like a true foundation that you're trying to set. But I'm telling you, my face is feeling a little bit, it's a little bit wet. I feel like we'll make the blend. Let's build. Let's get into some of that Ipsy stuff. But before I do that, I'm gonna lean in and remind everyone what's going on. So this is the ELF side. And this is the NYX side. Let's get that big. Remember how I said in the beginning, like, I have my big beauty blender on standby to just do like the final patting. So let's go ahead and do that. And then try this. I don't use loose setting powder that often. This looks entirely too big to me to be like a setting powder type of brush. It would be the perfect all over face brush, but let's go in with it. And you know, pink setting powder, somebody help me out here. Let's knock it off. Somebody help me out here. Like, pink, translucent, like what are we talking about is the big difference? You know what we need to do? And this is my Chic Glam Powder Puff. I feel like let's just pat this on. Let's use the powder puff, because you can get I think that brush is entirely too big, but I just got so excited. I just really wanted to use it. You know, we could use the brush to get a little bit of the powder on the face in all of these places, and then we can go in and set it with the powder puff from Chic Glam. This is so cute. I found it as I've been doing my decluttering, and I was like, let's just keep it at the station, so that there might be a time here while I'm still at my glorious basement glam station that I might need a powder puff. Normally I use compressed sort of compact setting powder, and I go in, you know, with a brush like maybe this size, and just really get in there and take it from And when I was younger and didn't know anything and was just trying to figure out how to do my makeup, I often used the puffs that came with the products. And there was a puff that came with this product, and I can't find it right now, but it's just like a white, normal, like powder puff type of deal, but I didn't want to get it. I don't know. I didn't want to get it all dirty. So let's just use this She Glam one. I inhaled a little bit of the powder. This is another thing about the loose setting powder. It's just like always all over the place, and you're breathing it in. It's flying through the air. It's getting on your glam table. It's getting on your carpet. To me, the loose setting powder is just entirely too messy, but look at how much I still have left. I still have a ton left, but I don't see much shine going on. Do you guys see much shine going on? I don't really. I think, you know what I want to do? I want to give myself a setting spray set and let the setting spray kind of like, I don't know, set what we've done so far. And then we're going to build some blush and do my lips. And then I have to get out of here. Totally have to get going. I don't know how I'm going to knock this thing back in here. I don't think I can. I think I'm just going to leave it out. I'm going to play with it a little bit more later. All right, let's build some blush. Let's build some blush. That's it. Come on now. Come on. Dry down. Gotta go. I don't do any cuts here. Mom on the basement, mom on the go. Not so much. What you see is what you get. There are no, where I'm a one-take wonder. All right, let's go in with the Glow Recipe Fleshy blush. I love this thing. You can use it. You can use it on your lips as well. And it just gives like a really nice dewy vibe. I'm going to use the Beauty Blender and I'm going to pat it in again. We're going to set again. We're going to use that setting powder again. I have entirely too much sitting in the cap of that thing not to. Let's just drag it around, flush it out. Look at that. Nice color. Nice color. Nice pops of color. I love that stuff from Glow Recipe. Lots of skin loving ingredients in that. Oh, you know what else is going on today? Today is Friday the 13th, if you're watching this real time in June. And POV Beauty, which we've talked about before, has restocked for, I guess, the third time, because they launched at the end of March, sold out right away. People waited like a month to get their stuff. And then like a month later, they restocked. I picked up their Whip It face moisturizer, which I really, really like. It looks like thick. When you open up the packaging, you're like, whoa, that looks thick. And then you put it on and it just really melts into your skin. And then somewhere on my station, I don't know where it is. Oh, here it is the Amp It lip oil. I've been using this a lot. Like I actually have to squeeze down on it to get more out. I just feel like it makes my lips like really pearly, glistening-esque. Much like, it reminds me a lot of my Clarins Lip Perfector in the shade 01. But those are the two things I bought. Am I going to go online and buy anything more from POV Beauty? I don't think so. I might wait until the next restock. And if I get anything, I'll get the serum. All right, let's try the face palette. We're going in with everything. I love this. I love this. Let's go. Let's use another one of these pretty and pink brushes. You know, as you, like, maybe you're thinking the same thing I'm thinking, that there was definitely a theme with Ipsy. There was like a pretty and pink theme. I've got pink loose setting powder. I've got pink brushes. I've got like a pink toned palette. This is like, it's actually, I would call this rose gold. I think there's definitely pink is going on, and I love it because it's summer. And when I think of summer, and I think of like blue skies, and I do think of like, you know, like when I was young, I was wearing the pinks and the pastels in the spring and the summer. So it's kind of, I think it's got a summery vibe. I'm just trying to think, like, I'm trying to decide how I want to use this blush, because brush for the blush or for the contour. I'm like, I'm stalling because I'm looking at my brush collection over here. Let's dust the lids. Let's dust the lids with this shade. Let's see how this formula is. Let's see. There's a fair amount of fallout. I'm not doing much. I don't want to shimmer. And this is good. This is not really giving me much of a shimmer. It's giving me just like a very, you know, nude, very close to the color of my own lids type of lay down. Let's go in with this super dense blending brush and just do one of these numbers, drag across the bridge, flare out a little bit to the sides. That's all that we have going on. I think that I prefer the formula, and my essence, not gonna lie, that's going on a little bit more rusty than I would want. I want like a really light tan, sort of more organic shade, but it's actually not, I mean, I can use that. I can use that. And, you know, I don't think it was actually meant to go on, I don't think this was actually meant to go on lids anyway. It's meant to like warm up your face in like a contour fashion. Wow, that's a little bit darker than I thought it would go on. We're still in the lightest shade. We're still in the lightest shade. I'm not going in with any of my creamy bronzing sticks like I normally like to do. We're gonna just warm up the face. We're just like powder girls today. We're powder puff girls today. I don't know if I'm a little bit nervous to go into that deeper color. Let's just take it on the edge. Let's take it on the edge. Yeah, that's definitely deeper. That is definitely deeper. I still have a little bit on the edge, so let's go on the lids. Boy, this is powerful. A little bit will do you. I'm obviously going to blend this out a little bit more. Oh, nice. I'm kind of liking this glow that I got on. And what's going to happen? What is going to happen when I go in with that nice light pink powder? What's going to happen then? I guess we're going to find out. Hey, listen, we're getting down there in this video. I got to go. So I'm going to give you my signature sign off. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope that you're well. That's the pink is not, so I would not necessarily go in with these. These are, if I'm going to use these, I think I'm going to use them standalone, and I'm not going to try to build a powder on top because it's not really blending well. I'm having regrets. I'm wishing it looks like I've gotten like tan, you know, and this like I have like super tan, bronzy cheeks. This pink's not picking up as well as I would like. So next time we get together, hopefully it'll be soon. I don't know. I just have so much going on, but I know I'm going to be around this weekend. If you're watching this real time, I would like to try to just use the pink powder blush over those tints and see what kind of finish that we get from that. I got my pops of color. I don't look like clown face. I'm pretty happy with, I'm really happy actually with this whole Ipsy haul this month. And I definitely figured out how to put the whole thing on, and now I figured out how to put it on vacation mode. We're gonna just double down on this, on the SPF, and try this Morphe SPF50 Sun Setter Setting Spray. Has that SPF smell to it. I don't know if I would necessarily trust this. ELF also has one, has like a setting spray / SPF, but I don't know if it's 30. It might be 30. I don't know. Don't quote me. Go check out the ELF website. Looking all right. Let's do something on the lips because I said I wanted to do a little bit of color on my lips and then get out of here, go in with the everything, anywhere, excuse me, everything. Anywhere caffeine lip liner. Lips are still really moist and hydrated from that Amp It from POV Beauty. All right, a little bit of Lancome lip gloss, and I'm going to be on my way. Let me know in the comments, what do you think? I know like a lot of times you guys are like, hey, you brought it back. You figured it out. I think what I really need to do is I do need to blend a little bit more. I need to keep using my really super dense sort of brushes and really just smooth everything out. All right, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you're well. I hope your family's well. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.